Hi neighbors, welcome back to another video of Cooking with Neighbors. My name is Jerry Ellen. Welcome to my home, welcome to my kitchen. I appreciate every single one of you. The returning neighbors, the new neighbors, the just stopping by to see this video neighbors. I appreciate any time that you give to me, I really do. And today I am making us some treats because it's the Tuesday after Easter and we're still eating some leftovers, hubby and I. So I'm making some treats for our tea and I thought that I'd share what I'm making with you. The first one is the cherry nut bread, a cherry nut loaf out of this cookbook. This cookbook I got back when I was in my 20s. So it's been well used throughout my marriage so far and I still love it today. And I love this recipe and I wanted to bring it to you. So the recipe is on page 83 of this cookbook if you have it, okay? But if not, don't worry because I'm telling you the recipe, okay? My oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Have a sip of coffee. I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of granulated sugar. I'm sifting this. The recipe says to sift it, but if you don't, you can just whisk it. But I really do have to sift mine because my bag of sugar was in the garage and some of it got kind of hard because it was so cold out there. So I have to break apart the lumps of sugar. 3 teaspoons of baking powder and a half a teaspoon of salt. Now, sift it. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing wonderful. Easter was very quiet and it was nice. So we didn't get to spend it with Casey. We thought that he was actually going to come over. We were going to do a birthday dinner for him and we were going to make a dessert for him. However, when he was taking back the vehicle that he was borrowing from me on my journey and it broke down. It just keeps going the same speed. It goes something to do with the throttle, I guess, the electrical throttle. Some other things too. We got to take it into a garage to get fixed. But he was returning it Saturday. But he was going to take a bus into Toronto on Monday. His dad picked him up on his way back from work in Toronto and take him back here for the night. And then from here borrowed the vehicle again to go to a concert in Toronto on Tuesday. We don't have buses here where I live. We live in a very small town that doesn't have public transit. So when there's no car for him if he came. So, and there was no, like I couldn't drive him into the next town to get a bus and he couldn't borrow my vehicle because it's not working. So we have to get that fixed. Anyway, that's a short story long. So I didn't get to, today is his birthday, April 2nd. This is his birthday today. He's 27 years old now. Hard to believe. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside for a second. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add half a cup of walnuts to this, into my dry. Okay. I want to make sure you can see I have 3/4 of a cup of milk. Okay. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 1/4 of a teaspoon of almond extract. A little goes a long way, but if you don't have almond, just use vanilla. Okay. 1/4 cup of cherry juice from the jar that I took the cherries out of. So 1/4 cup, 1/4 cup. Okay, and hi Harrietta, sweetheart. You coming out to see Mama? My sidekick is up. And we're going to be getting a lot of rain over the next few days. We are. Got to put this in the food bin. I'll just put it there for now. I'm putting in 2 large eggs and I'm going to whisk them a bit before I mix them in with the milk. Now I'm just going to mix the eggs and the milk and the oil and the cherry juice and almond extract, all of that And we're still only going to use a fork. I have a loaf pan that I put a loaf liner in because I like using them when I make my breads, my cake type style breads. And I sprayed it with some, did I spray it? I better spray it. I'm going to spray it with some cooking spray. And I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to put a cup of cherries. You can cut them up. I'm going to leave them whole this time. It doesn't say to cut them, but sometimes I cut them up. And I'm just going to use a fork until it's all smooth. Gotta get a spatula. Hi, honey. Harrietta loves to be on the floor next to the cooking when I'm in the kitchen or the baking. Okay. Pitter patter, let's get at her. What a beautiful pink color. I'm gonna just give it a little whack on the bottom. Anyway, I'm gonna get the stuff ready for the lemon squares. Neighbors, okay. I'm gonna make lemon squares. And I'm gonna make them, or lemon bars, wherever you're from, they're called different things. So lemon bars or lemon squares from this cookbook. It's a Canadian author, and just about every Canadian, anyone that you know, grew up in Canada or whatever, a lot of households had this book. She was from out west, out Alberta. Jean Perry, she had a catering company out of her house, and then she started doing these books. And I have a small collection of them. But anyway, the lemon squares. Let's start off with the base. 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour and a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. I'm sifting just because, like I say, my sugar has a few lumpies in it. So that's why I'm sifting, just so I can break up the lumps of sugar. Because the recipe doesn't call to sift this particular recipe. Good enough. 1/2 cup of margarine or softened butter. Do not grease your 9x9 inch pan. And that's an 8x8. That's okay. I'm going with it. Be thicker squares. Because you only cut these small, so I'll just have a few less squares. These are very tasty. There's a recipe of lemon squares from a different community cookbook that I made a lot for the boys growing up. I'll have to share someday. I just have to look for it. I'm going to wash my hands again because I'm going to be pressing it into the pan, okay? Make the lemon filling to pour on top of this. It's like a shortbread crust. And then when it comes out of the oven and it cools, I'm trying to time it that everything's coming out at the same time. When it cools, I am going to frost it. I am, for my tea. Okay. I also have to share someday down the road. I'm slow at getting this stuff. This cherry nut loaf I wanted to do ages ago, but being spring, cherries are come in season between May and July anyway, so it might be good timing, but I wanted it for a nice neighbor that's here, Cindy. She probably doesn't need it anymore. Yeah, this is not a greased pan, but I lined it because I want to take it out of the pan to share with you. And I'm just pressing it firmly in there. And it's very easy, very easy recipe, a very quick recipe. It only takes a half hour of bake time at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I'm going to wash this bowl. Harriet is very comfy there. Bless her. Okay, 2 large eggs. I like using large to extra large eggs when I'm baking. I think you can see very good there. Two eggs, I tell you, 2. I'm going to whisk them a little bit. I'm going to add 1 cup of granulated sugar. Okay, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. Now, you know the ones that are shaped like a lemon at the grocery store? Do not use. They don't taste very good, and you'll be sorry. Just use like the bottle kind and give it a shake before you measure it out. But don't use the ones that shape like a lemon. Okay. Half a teaspoon of salt. 1/2 teaspoon, half a teaspoon of baking powder. It's fizzing in there. 1 cup of coconut, shredded coconut. And 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Bind it all really well. Now I'm going to pour it into my lined baking pan over the crust. Anyway, I gotta do dishes again. I do. There she is. There's my little darling.
Little when the sun goes down, we could walk this autumn town, find a place to be alone, look into your eyes, feeling butterflies. We could dance under the stars, fall into each other's arms. Nowhere else we need to be, just you and me. We can't lose this love, so hold on to what we know we have. Hold on to moments that we've shared. Hold on if all we have is just each other, everything will be fine. Just hold on. Then the night turned into day, and I was thinking you should stay.
Marietta just outside barking a little bit, letting the neighbors know that stuff's coming out of the oven soon. Now I'm just setting my table, and the store did not have cube sugar like the lumps of sugar, but I have sugar with lumps in it. So there you go. I have a very eclectic personality, so I'm any different things that don't really match sometimes. But my friend Tammy here, hi Tammy. She wanted to know about what color my everyday plates were. So this is the style that I use every day. So that's why I'm using it today, is to show Tammy. I was going to take out the ones that go with the cups, but that's okay. I'm eclectic anyway. I had to come back on. I needed to tighten that up, so I tightened it. But I wanted to talk to you for a second. This is your seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. Here. Now, everyone needs a signature napkin. I like using this one most times, and the reason being I could put my cutlery in there, or I could put my cutlery across the top, and I could put my menu, like a card with the menu on it in there, or I can put a nice note, like I would like to say to you, I love you and I appreciate you, and then you can put that in there. Or you can put some baby's breath and a rose. Like, it's a little pocket that you can do many things with. So that's why I like to use it. You can decorate it up by putting some flowers in it, a menu in it, a note in it, or your cutlery in it. So that's why I like to use this here style napkin. I don't know the name of the style, but that's the one I use anyway. In a bowl, I have 1.5 cups of powdered sugar or icing sugar. And to this, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of softened butter or margarine. And also have yourself 3 tablespoons of lemon juice diluted with 3 tablespoons of water, which you're going to gradually add as much as needed to make a spreadable icing. And I'm just going to try to make the top of this look a little prettier by dabbing it with a fork and just kind of give it a little bit of personality, if you will. And I would suggest waiting until they completely cool, even refrigerate for a little bit after it completely cools so it sets up nice before frosting it. I'm saying this because I did cut them a little sooner than one should, and yeah, it can be not as firm, just put it that way. There we got our neighbors. Now, if you want, you can put some butter on your bread. Bon appetit. I do hope that you try these recipes someday. They're both so delicious. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate you all. As always, like, share, and subscribe, and peace, love, and God bless. Make sure that you treat yourselves nice and treat your neighbors nice. Love this. Bye.